Well, hello everyone, welcome back guys. Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badruddin back again with another lab, and today we are again going to exploit the cross-site scripting vulnerability, but we exploit this to perform cross-site request forgery. So this lab contains a stored XSS vulnerability in the block comments function. So to solve the lab, exploit the vulnerability to perform a CSRF. CSRF is also known as XSRF. Okay. We will perform the cross-site request forgery attack and change the email address of someone who view the blog post comment. There is a user who is going to check all the comments. Okay, so anyone who posts the comment, he is going to check the comment. So once he load the page to check the comment, request is generated from him by stealing or by capturing his CSRF token, so that the email address of that user gets changed. Okay, so you can log in to your own account using the following credential. Username is Wiener and the password is Peter. So here we have credentials. Now there is a hint: you cannot register an email that is already taken by another user. If you change your own email address while testing your exploit, make sure you use a different email address for the final exploit you deliver to the victim. Fine. So let's see. And I already have burp suite. So I'm going to turn on the burp proxy on my browser. And let's just click on home button. So we will be sure that the request is going or passing through the burp suite. Fine. So let's go here. I'm going to log in with the credentials what we are given in the lab. So the username is Wiener and the password is Peter. Okay, don't save. And as you can see, we logged in here. Okay, so in terms of exploiting CSRF, we need to know the flow. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to change my email. Let's say cybersec@radar.xr. Fine, update the email. Now you can see our email gets changed. I'm going back here and go to the post request. This is the endpoint for the changing email. And as you can see in this post request, we have email address what we need to change. And one interesting thing here is CSRF token. So that means to change, in terms of changing email, a user must mention or pass CSRF in the post data. Fine. So without this, we cannot change the email address. Fine. So we are going to build our exploit on this. Okay. So now I'm going back to home, and here I'm going to choose any blog post. Let's say this one. And here, as you can see, anyone who posts comment, anyone can see this. So I'm going to first build our exploit here. So the first thing first is a script tag. Fine. Now the first thing I'm going to capture is the CSRF token, and we did it too many times. So document dot get elements by let's say name. Okay, and then the name is CSRF and its key value is 0, and I want to capture the value of this. Okay, so let's say I'm going to copy this back to the browser and go to the inspect, and here if I go to the console, okay, and I just type this. I already mentioned this in the previous lab, so I'm just going to show you here that how I get the CSRF token value, right? And if I go here to the page source, so if we scroll down, you can see there is input field. Okay, the name is CSRF and the value is the token value. Fine. So because this is hidden input tag, that's why a user cannot see it, but it exists in the HTML. So this is the thing, CSRF, and we take value of CSRF like this. Okay, so we have CSRF. Now if you see the post request, you need only two things, CSRF and email address. The email address, what we need to change. So here let's come back and let's say I'm going to just create the form data. So form data is equal to new form data. Okay, and I'm going to say we need to put the data here, what we need to put in the post request. So paste it dot append, and within that comma. Okay, so because we need only two things, so only two. So the first thing is email and the second thing is CSRF token. Okay, so CSRF, fine. Let me check the parameter name is, yeah, email and CSRF. Email and CSRF. So the email you want to change for user is going to be, let's say anything, anything dot anything at whatever, okay, dot XOR, fine. And the CSRF token, we put just this variable CSRF. You can name it as you want, fine. Now what we need to do, we need to create one request, post request, and we are going to do it with the fetch API, and here okay, now here we need to mention the URL. So I'm going here, this is the URL for changing the request. So I'm going to copy the URL, paste it here, and now we need to assign few headers like method. So method is going to be post method, and then mode. So mode is going to be no course, that means cross origin resource sharing. Okay, and the last thing is the data, post data, and the post data we form it within the form data. So I'm going to put it here, fine. And here also we need to put the comma. So now this is the request and this is our data. And how this script is going to work, we must have here some kind of function that is going to be called on some specific event, right? So for this, let's say I'm going to use here window dot add event listener. Okay, and within the event listener, I'm gonna say once the DOM content is loaded completely. So DOM content loader, oh sorry, loaded. Okay, once DOM content fully loaded, it is going to call one function. Okay, and that function is going to be called, and we put everything here within this function. Okay, so we take it from here. Okay, fine. Now we need to, because we need to put everything within this event within the function. So I'm going to just take this, Control X, and going to put it here, paste. Okay, fine, that's it. So before going to do anything, I just want to mention one thing. Most of the time people get confused between XSS and CSRF because there is a very thin line difference between them. Okay, so for now, because there is one CSRF module, complete module, so I'm going in more depth in that module once I start that module. But for now, you need to understand the difference between XSS and CSRF, because you can see this exploit, if you see, you will say, okay, this is XSS, what we are going to do, but we are performing XSS to perform the CSRF. So the difference between XSS and CSRF attacks are like XSS attack exploit the trust of a user in a website by injecting the malicious script, and that malicious script run within the user's browser, okay, on the trusted site. But on the contrary, CSRF attack exploit the trust of a website on the user's browser. So that allows an attacker to perform unauthorized action on behalf of the authenticated user. And in all of this scenario, the user does not know that what unintended actions he is performing. Okay, so similarly here you can see, once the user on the different side come to check this comment, and when this page gets loaded, or the DOM of this page completely loaded, DOM content, it is going to call one function, and that function is going to capture the CSRF token of that user, and also it's going to change the email by generating one post request to this endpoint. And all of this, the user does not have any information about what is going on, okay, under the hood. So let's go, and I'm going to copy this, come back here, paste that, fine, and let's give it any name. Let's say test1, email, let's say test2 at email2.xor, and if you want, you can put the website, anything. Just post this comment. Okay, now as you can see, we submitted the comment. Now we back to the blog. Let's go to the my account. Okay, so if I go to my account, let's see if our email address gets changed or not. And here it's not changed. So what's the reason? There must be some mistake. Okay, so I got the issue. Everything is perfect, but the only problem here is this data, because this is body. What I sometimes while speaking, what I say, I write that, and that happens many times. So instead of data, that there must be body. Okay, so now in the body we will have this form data. Okay, so I think that's the only issue we have. I'm going to back to the home, and then let's go to any post. Let's say this one, copy, paste it here. I'm going to paste that. Okay, everything seems good. Body is this. Now name, let's say cybersec radar. Email, let's say email at test.west. Fine. Okay, and the website, if you want, you can put it, no problem in that. So I'm going to post this comment. So once we post it, you can see the lab is solved. The lab is solved because the user on the different side, he visited that post and his email gets changed. So if we go to my account, you can see here our email does not change. Why? Because we do not visit the same blog page. So if I go here, this is the blog page where we put the script. Okay, now we see the comment. Now if we back again to my account, it is not going to change. Why? Because that email is already assigned. This email is already assigned to the other user. Okay, but before that user access the same post, if we access that post, at that instant this email will be assigned to us. Okay, so that's it for this lab. I hope you enjoy the lab. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.